Has everyone gone crazy here? Social Democratic Party members are leaving the Social Democratic Party because they're afraid of their own party. Marcus Söder, his daughter, is making AI fake pictures of half-naked women. And on top of that, do you remember the youth club? Yes, now there's another girl in the bathroom and she's having a baby because she's pregnant. Of course, none of this makes it into the press, not like what's happening now with Ullman and Fernandez, which makes me wonder again, aren't these things much worse? But that's not what people want. We're starting right off today with the Social Democratic Party, and once again, this is absolutely explosive politically.
But from my own many years of experience, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you one thing. It makes a huge difference when you're traveling together in a car, whether you're in the passenger seat or whether you have the steering wheel in your hand.
Unless you have Social Democratic Party at the front of your name, then you basically always have the steering wheel in your hand. And now, dear, I have to read this out quickly. Jonas Gebauer, 30 years old from the absolute realist wing, is leaving the Social Democratic Party in Berlin. Why? Well, because he says he wants to have reasonable politics again and that the Social Democratic Party has gone so far off course. Also, with all the accusations of Islamism, he no longer feels comfortable among his comrades. Also, shout out to Lars Klingbeil. What are you actually doing in Berlin? However, the fact that the Christian Democratic Union is voluntarily giving up control of the steering wheel. Let's hear that in the next clip. And if I may ask you for just one thing, this channel is really starting to pick up again. I can feel it. If I may ask you once again for a like and a subscription, you're really helping this channel get back on its feet. And all of this is happening purely through organic growth. That's exactly what we need for the upcoming elections.
Marathon behind us. And now we're going to sprint to the finish. There's no moment where we're tired. We've pushed through. And then on Sunday evening, we'll succeed in becoming the strongest force in this country. Dear friends.
And then that actually does something, so I don't understand the point behind it. Because no matter which of these two parties comes out on top, Social Democratic Party policies will be implemented anyway. Except for our children who are also affected now, but that doesn't make it into the news. Crisis lessons, yes, if the power goes out here, if we get attacked or if we attack someone, of course, just as a formality. Is Dobrindt now going to go ahead and promote crisis lessons in schools? Right, exactly. Math will be cancelled and instead there will be crisis lessons. If, for example, the lights go out or the gas runs out or the Russians come, yes, then we definitely need crisis lessons. I think that's going too far. I don't know what your opinion on this is, but you really only find that in the press reports if you dig really deep for it.
Schadenfreude is really out of place here. We want to win, and when we win, we celebrate. But the next day, I will continue to discuss with the two-party leaders of the Social Democratic Party how we can get this country back on track together.
And why isn't he doing that? Already yesterday, and the day before, and last month, and in the last half year, this man has only just become chancellor. So in my opinion, he's already been a second choice chancellor for a year now. Or am I wrong? Were the elections only 3 weeks ago? Yeah, he's been chancellor for a year, but he hasn't done anything yet except just carry out Social Democratic Party policies. What does he want to change? Oh yeah, this secret meeting. It's becoming more and more clear now that they actually didn't decide anything. They just wanted to leak it to the press. Exactly. Because tomorrow is the election campaign. They didn't even come close to agreeing. That's why, right from the start, Social Democratic Party members are now leaving. Because they feel, they feel fooled by the Christian Democratic Union. Crazy, right? That's really pretty hardcore, isn't it? But you only find that in the daily newspapers from Berlin, from the Süddeutsche, or something similar.
There's no way around reforms, said Merz.
That's true, especially when it comes to security. Did you know actually only RTL did a very small segment about it, which unfortunately I can't show here, because otherwise my channel would be immediately suspended? Marcus Söder's daughter, yes, she went ahead and made AI deepfakes of another girl, a young woman, yes, in a bikini. and claimed it as her own. Of course, it could be different. Now there's a huge scandal, except of course at the public broadcasters and of course at Axel Springer. They somehow haven't noticed it at all today, probably because there are elections tomorrow, and of course they don't want any bad publicity. Just like, for example, the poor little girl in Berlin-Neukölln.
With that, it would be less confirmed that she has actually hit rock bottom now.
Yes, but also at the same time the church and the diaconal organizations. Now hold on. I didn't find any clips about it. I barely found any newspaper clippings about it. They're pretty much kept behind paywalls. Otherwise, I would show them to you. Today, I got five subscriptions, all hidden behind paywalls. The problem we have in Neukölln. There was also a second girl. This second girl was, well, in the same youth center, also harassed in the restroom by other teenagers, I would say. But now she is pregnant and her mother told the press about it in tears, Yes, that's right. And now get this, the deacon there said, nope, that's covered by confidentiality and he can't do anything about it at all. And maybe the young people have strayed a bit from the course. Man, as a father, I'm already losing it again and thinking, yeah, hey, they're making a huge fuss about this colon. Yeah, because pictures were posted on the internet and supposedly you really have to wrap your head around this. Yeah, because he talked to acquaintances on the phone with phones, you know what I mean? As if nobody would have figured out that there was a guy, I'm telling you, while these messages are now encrypted behind paywalls. You can look up all the messages I've just told you about in detail right now. Just go to Google and search for them. It's really like that, and they really hide it here behind, yeah, I really have to say, paid news. It's so pathetic. I hope that somehow tomorrow the biggest election debacle ever happens and the Social Democratic Party once again has to struggle with the 5% threshold back there. Of course, that's not going to happen. But still, that would be my wet dream of the evening.
There's really no one who could replace Klingbeil as party chairman, and that's probably what's going to save him.
So, really, all that's left to say, and this conclusion is quite fitting, is that within the Social Democratic Party itself, the voices calling for Klingbeil to be ousted are getting louder and louder. And it seems that he has already been urged to finally resign, and that with some pretty harsh words. But well, that's still something for the future. I think that fits pretty well as a cover story. Yes, in the Social Democratic Party, they want him to step down and leave. But of course, he hasn't made enough money from our tax dollars yet, and he's been throwing it away with both hands. That this guy definitely doesn't want to leave or will leave, but only when he and his Antifa buddies have completely ruined this country. That was the word for Saturday. By the way, I didn't do any news last night. I actually had a beer for once. That had to happen in honor of Chuck Norris.